Welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Amista, and I'm here to do a little bit of tarot reading, a little bit chit chat, just kind of get to know some of you that are out there in YouTube land. So come on in. As soon as you get in, say hi, kick your feet up on the coffee table, stay a while, get to know some of the other people that show up in the room. I really want to create kind of a nice community that gathers at this room, and so I'm trying to show up here as consistently as I can so that you guys know to expect it, even though it won't be at the same time every day. I just don't have that kind of life. It'll be whenever it'll be. So come on in, enjoy. Let's get to know each other. Let's have some fun in here. I am going to be doing tarot readings for people who show up. We're going to start with a reading so that I can kind of give us a little time to get some people in the room. So the beginning reading will be a reading about manifesting. What do we want to manifest in the next 24 hours? We're going to look at best advice to do that. If you're coming on in the room, go ahead and say hi to me. Let me know that you're here. Cheryl Floyd, good morning, honey bunny. How are you today? Glad to see you here. I want to get us a nice little community that shows up here whenever I show up. Wouldn't that be fun? Everybody that knows everybody and can be supportive and helpful. Boop-a-doo-doo. Boop-a-doo-doo. Glad you're doing great. All right. Let's look at best manifestation advice for today. Think about what you would like to manifest. Oh, and thank you for that thumbs up. Woohoo. When you guys see me looking over into this corner, that means I'm actually looking at my um, chat, at the chat as it's scrolling. You guys may have figured that out by now. All right. Best manifestation advice for today. All right. Here's the thing. We're showing up. Oh, thank you for that second thumbs up, whoever that is. Come on in and say hi. We start off with the Queen of Cups. This tells me that we are intuiting something, picking something up. The Queen of Cups talks about the idea of, being really in tune to how other people feel and the energies around us. And in this card, I like to look at her. I see her kind of looking into that cup, almost like scrying. So it's probably really just supposed to be her cup of drink from breakfast. Maybe it's her coffee cup, I don't know, but she's picking up some stuff, man. So we have some intuition here. I think that intuition has to do with somebody who is thinking in circles. They can't find a decision about something. They're having a hard time figuring out what's right. Every time they think they found a decision, then they think, oh, but wait, I didn't consider this. And so they start making that decision process all over again. So they're thinking in circles. I don't feel like that's us. I feel like what's going on today is we are getting a message about this person, however, who is overthinking. We have the Eight of Rods. The Eight of Rods says, be quiet. Be quiet. Sometimes when we're manifesting something, the thing to do is not scream it from the rooftops. Whatever is this message that we are getting in intuitively, we're not supposed to share it. We're not always supposed to share our messages. And especially with this person who is overthinking things, we have to let them go through their process. Even if we have an intuitive hit and we know where this is going, we still have to let them go through their process. We can't shortcut that for them because their process is part of their journey that they need to take. So for us to manifest what we want to manifest, sometimes we got to zip the lips. That's what that's saying. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those thumbs ups already. Is there anybody in the room? How many people in the room would like me to read for them? If you wave or say hi or whatever, I'll know that you would like to have a reading. And we'll figure out how many people are waiting for a reading here. And then we'll figure out our process. So if you can, say hi. I know some of you watch from TV and you can't interact with me. Cheryl has her hand up. Laura, you read me. Oh, you didn't miss me this time. Woohoo. Okay. So we have two people that would like to have a reading. So I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 4. And whoever puts that number in the chat first is going to be the first person I read for today. Number between 1 and 4. Thank you for the thumbs ups already. By the way, guys, don't forget to share this video out to the world. The more people that are here, the longer I stay. Boop, ba-da-doo, doo. 2 is not it. 4 is not it. 3 is it. 3 is it. You can see my number right there. Whoops. Stay in front of the camera, Amista. All right. So who put 3 in there first? Laura Uribe. Okay, Miss Laura in Spain. Do you have a question for me today, honey, or do you want a message from Spirit? Boop ba da doo doo doo. Boop ba da doo. Boop ba da doo. Boop ba da doo. That's your elevator music while we wait. Ooh, yay. All right. Can we have that person's first name, please, to help me check in? I like to have first names. So this is for Laura. Is it looking good for love? Carmelo. All right. Carmelo. That just sounds like a sweet treat right there. Let's see. Laura and Carmelo. Is the potential there for a love relationship? Appropriate for Laura, love relationship. Does Carmelo have good potential to be a good romantic partner for Laura, an appropriate romantic partner for Laura? Let's see what we have. Like I've said enough words over that. Well, darn it. Here's what you have. You have some confusing stuff here. First of all, you get to decide about what potential you want to create here. All right. No news there. 8 of Rods talks about the idea that, communication. And with that decision card before that, I think you're deciding whether you guys communicate or not. I think if you decide to, you guys can have actually quite a bit of communication going back and forth. 8 of Wands is usually like fast, quick messages. So maybe like text messages, short emails, maybe even short phone calls, but it's snappy, it's quick stuff going back. We have the King of Cups showing up here. Now, this is not necessarily the king of your heart when we show up with the King of Cups, but you guys could develop a romantic attachment pretty easily. However, then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which says, you cut Carmelo off. You're like, don't talk to me. But da da da. All right, now here's where it gets confusing. Then we see you. Welcome back to Carmelo. So I don't know exactly what else coming up here. This would be great actually for a reading to dive into this. Like, why are you cutting him off? Is this because you get triggered and you're overreacting about something? Or was he a general ASS type person? I don't know. But you're walking back. Is this walk back a healthy thing because you were triggered? Is this walk back something where you're starting into a toxic cycle? Oh, this would be great for a reading. Like a 30-minute reading. But yes, there is potential there. There is potential there if you decide to let it be. The very first card was you making the decision, am I going to communicate with this person or not? Once you decide that, then yes, there is potential. Yeah. Sometimes we have to do some self-work. Alrighty, so let's see. You're quite welcome. Okay, so we've got 2 in the room now. Cheryl, are you still in the room? Are you the other person that's still here, or is there somebody else? Thank you for the thumbs ups. Once again, I appreciate that. Don't forget, share this video out to the world. The more people that show up, the longer I stay. Okay, so Miss Cheryl, do you have a question for me today? Or do you want a message from Spirit? Boop, ba da doo 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 doo. We're going to do Cheryl Ford. Also, guys, if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. I guess both of you probably are subscribed, aren't you? So you can catch this again. My coaster just fell off my coffee cup. I don't know how it got attached. I apologize. That scared me. It probably scared y'all too. All right. Cheryl Ford. This is from Spirit. What would you like to talk to Miss Cheryl about today? Today. Cheryl. All right. So, Cheryl, what do we have here for you? Okay, we're starting off with the 10 of Pentacles showing up in reverse. This just tells me that you are working on bringing more stability and more security into your life. And that is covered by a King of Cups in reverse. So you're working on bringing in more stability and more security. And you've got a King of Cups in reverse who is not really helping with that at all. King of Cups in reverse is just saying that there's somebody who is really resenting the idea that, heaven help you because you want more stability and security in your life. They're coming at you about it. They really resent that. They could be coming at you low key with that King of Cups. They could be doing kind of some passive aggressive type stuff. But regardless, they're not too thrilled that you would like to have more stability and security in your life. By the way, this could be past, present, or future. Now, best advice or heads up around this situation, we have a Six of Swords. Right behind the Six of Swords, we have a Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Boop-a-da-doo-doo-doo-doo. And we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so with this Six of Swords, the first thing that we have here, Six of Swords talks about going from choppy water into calm water. It talks about getting away from drama, getting away from chaos. Also, it does talk about this idea of increasing our security, going from choppy to calm. Things are kind of shaky, things are not so shaky. Okay, so it does talk about this idea of making some movements. So even though this other person is expressing something, maybe even kind of passive aggressively, we still see your best advice or insight here is keep on making movements towards something that is more stable and more secure, basically calmer waters. Now, your heads up here. Seven of Pentacles coming up in reverse basically means that there's something going on where you're moving forward and basically you're moving forward towards some kind of payday here, Cheryl. And when you're moving forward towards this payday, what's happening is the pay is coming in slow or a little bit maybe partial pay and, payment arrangement type of thing. So that's something that you want to anticipate as you're doing this and as you're making your plans. And then we have our Eight of Cups coming up here. This really tells me that when you get the chance, you want to walk away from whoever this is making the passive aggressive jibes or that is, actually maybe even literally putting up obstacles for you. You want to be spending less time with that person, walking away. The Eight of Cups is walking away from something that made you feel depleted, worn out, tired, exhausted, because you're putting in all the energy and effort and they're putting none. So maybe you're the only one really trying to work on improving the stability and security. This other person's like, no, I would rather have things, be risky, live on the edge. You're like, I don't want to live like that. So this says that even though the payday that's coming in is a slow payday, still, even with that, we still see you walking away. All right. So I hope that makes sense for you, Miss Cheryl. Anybody else in the room that would like me to read for you, you have to let me know that you're here. Wave your hand, do something. And don't forget to put a thumbs up on the video. Anybody else in the room that would like to have a reading while I'm here? Uh-oh, why are you saying wow? I want to hear the goods. Inquiring minds want to know the gossip behind that one. That one was juicy. Juicy. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Anybody else in the room that wants a reading, say hello in the chat. I know some of you watch from your TVs, so you can't say hello, but that also means I don't know who you are, so I can't read for you. Marissa Brooklyn. Oh, you have a specific question for me. Hi, hi. Okay, my dear. Let's see. Put a thumbs up on the video, if you will. Your son going back and forth about. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, you'll know depending on how he acts. Thank you, Marissa. I appreciate that. All right, my dear. Let's see what we got for you. Ah, is that magic or some spell or hex on me? So let's look. Is there some kind of hoodoo, voodoo type energy that somebody put on Marissa? Is Marissa fighting with some kind of hoodoo, voodoo type of energy? Hoodoo, voodoo. Let's see. What's going on? What's the obstacle that Marissa is actually dealing with? If it's not something like that, show me what the obstacle is that she needs to work through to get to the other side. You do know we're in Mercury retrograde too, right? So we have a lot of things going wrong with Mercury retrograde that have to be retweaked, replanned, reworked. Boop-a-da-doo-doo-doo, boop-a-da-doo. Okay, so I will tell you there's no hoodoo, voodoo, hex type of energy. So nobody's energetically done anything against you intentionally. We all do that unintentionally. If we think an angry or a negative thought towards another person, they can feel that at a spirit level. That's kind of a psychic attack, whether we know we're doing it or not. But you have nothing where somebody have set out to do anything for you, no kind of ritual, no anything like that. Okay. So let's look at what your obstacle is. And by the way, while I'm doing this, if you don't mind, please share this video. The more people that come in, the longer I stay. And I do offer personal readings if you need one. Ba-bum-bum. What is happening here? Okay. All right, honey bunny. Somebody made a decision here that impacts your life. Okay. Now, when we have the justice card, it might be coming from a court situation, but it doesn't have to be. This is just somebody who had the authority to make this decision. And it looks like we may not want to hear this, but it looks like it was made in a fair way, even if we don't like the decision that they made. Okay. It looks like they tried to be fair about this decision. Now, we have a 5 of cups showing up in reverse. This talks about the idea of forgiveness, of letting go, of not holding on to resentments and injuries. A lot of times people think that forgiveness or letting go of this means that you're opening yourself up to having that happen again. No, because you're a little wiser, like you recognize the signs ahead of time now. But it does allow you to lift a weight off of you, so you're not carrying that scar tissue around afterwards. As you forgive it, that scar tissue starts to heal up, and you're aware, you're not gonna let it happen again. Forgiving doesn't mean that you take down your boundaries and you let somebody walk all over them again. Okay, so somebody made a decision against a decision that was a fair one, but I think it really hurt your feelings or, it impacted you in a way that didn't feel so hot. So this talks about forgiving or letting go of that. And I think you have actually forgave or let go of that, but you have a two of swords in reverse. This says, but I'm wobbly on that decision to forgive or let go of whatever that was. And so I'm having a hard time. This is indecision when it's in reverse. So if you ask me today, right now, yes, I've forgiven that person. If you ask me in 20 minutes, maybe I'm really angry. And forgiveness, when we have a big thing to forgive somebody from, it takes deciding over and over and over again, yes, I have forgiven that person. And I think that's what you're going through. You're going through this phase where before that forgiveness sets in, like it keeps coming back at you. The anger or the hurt keeps coming back at you. And you just kind of have to keep reminding your own self, look, I've forgiven this. I don't even have to think about this anymore. It's done. It's gone. So that indecision is what's actually being a blockage to you lately, that indecision about forgiveness. Now, Knight of Cups coming up in reverse. This really talks about this idea of when we hold malice, when we hold ill intent towards somebody else, this also blocks us off. And so it causes obstacles in our lives. And it basically causes the page of rods. It causes other people to say, you know what? I don't think I want to come on board with you on whatever your idea is or your plan is that you want me to come on board with. Okay. So you don't have anybody who did any voodoo or a hex. What you've got is somebody made a decision. I'm guessing that you didn't really like this decision, even though they tried to make it in a fair way. It looks like they made it in a fair way. You decided to forgive them for whatever they did do that was wrong. But your decision is kind of wishy-washy. It kind of changes from day to day or moment to moment. That's your problem right there. And so sometimes you've forgiven them, sometimes you maybe even want to get revenge against them. So that wishy-washiness that keeps you from moving forward, that's holding you back. You really want to decide, I've forgiven them and I'm done with it and I'm forgiving them. It's done. And you want to keep deciding that as long as it takes. And then that's when you start getting other people that are willing to come along with you on whatever plans or journeys or projects that you have. So that's what I've got. I hope it makes sense for you, honey. Anybody else in the room that wants a reading? Please say so. Please say so. Anybody else in the room that wants a reading? Thank you. Thank you. If you think that's a really great one, honey, that was only 5 cards. Try me for 30 minutes. I do offer personal readings. I do them over Skype or online or on the phone. And 30 minutes with me is $100. 45 is 152 or $200 buys you 60 minutes. I've been doing this for the public since 2012. I will knock your socks off in a live reading. Anybody else in the room that would like to have a quick free reading? If you want one, you have to say so. Also, guys, please share this video out with others. The more people that are here, the longer I stay and the more fun we have. I love to read. Okay, I'm giving somebody just a few more seconds for the delay to let me know if you want a reading. Send me a wave, something, something, whatever. Let me know you're here if you want a reading. Those of you who are watching by TV, that's a bummer. That means you can't participate. All right. Well, I think I've waited long enough for anybody's message to get in here, even with the delay. So it's time for me to take off. See what other kind of trouble. Oh, there is somebody here. Trina Beacon. Aw, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for keeping me company. It looks like I'm staying a little longer after all. Sure, Trina. Do you have a specific question for me, honey bunny, or do you want a message from Sacred Spirit? What would you like today? Boop, ba-da-doo, doo, doo, doo. Anybody else in the room that wants a message? All you have to do is wave, let me know you're here, and we'll go from there. Don't forget to put a thumbs up on the video and share it out to the world. The more here, the merrier. Boop, 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 boop. Also, the longer I stay. You want to know how you can communicate better. All right. Are we talking about, I'm assuming we're talking about verbally. So that's how the perspective I'm going to take on this question. How can Trina communicate better? LP. Welcome, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome, welcome. You can be right behind Trina, honey bunny. Okay. Trina wants to know how can she communicate better with the people around her? Quite welcome, quite welcome. Boop-a-da-doo doo. Best advice for Trina. Aw. Okay, well, Trina, I mean, it sounds like maybe your problem isn't so much communication as it is mood modulation. We have Mars and Jupiter that are going to be conjunct for a while. I can't even remember when this ends, like maybe in November or something. And Mars and Jupiter like just went through a point where they were like as conjunct as they could get, exact conjunction. And so all of us got a little more aggressive than usual. All right. And Mars is high energy, so it also could influence anxiety. If a lot of your energy goes to anxiety already anyway, then it could be really amped up. So right now, you're kind of under the influence of the planets. So I want to reassure you about that first. I think knowing that kind of stuff helps us to deal with it. Then when we start to feel a little bit more aggressive than usual, we go, oh, yeah, that's that planet's influence kicking in. That's not really how I want to act. And we get to adjust. So knowing that helps, I think. Um, but let's take a peek at your best advice. First of all, Spirit's confirming that is exactly what we're talking about with the Knight of Swords is all about conversations. See how he's kind of handing that sword? He's not really like trying to jab anybody with the sword. He's actually like handing that sword to the person. It's almost like a talking stick. Here, I've said my piece. Now it's your turn. So this is conversation. And this is a little bit of not just conversation, but part of the advice here is, be sure that when you're communicating with people, part of what you're doing is listening and paying attention to what they're saying, not listening to figure out what you're going to say next, but really to understand where they're coming from. Okay. And also speaking, this is very reciprocal. This person knows they're getting the talking stick back at some point. Okay. Now, Page of Pentacles. One of the things that it's important to let people know whenever we're communicating with them is that I would like to, and you're going to have to put this in whatever words are appropriate for this situation, but a Page of Pentacles says, I want to contribute to the well being of something. And with Pentacles, sometimes we're actually paying. Are you paying to talk to this person? I hope not, but maybe it's a therapist or something. But also, this can be about I want to put energy and effort towards this conversation or towards this idea that we're talking about. So you want to let somebody know, hey, I'm invested in how this turns out. So I would like to talk to you about the game plan. That type of thing, that type of energy is what we have on that card. So they need to know that you're interested, that you care, that you want to put energy and effort towards the goodness of something. And then it's time for you to pass along your good idea. But it's interesting how this shows up because once you have really listened to see where this person is coming from, and you've heard yourself talk about how you're invested in this, then You actually have an epiphany yourself about where you stand with the situation and how you feel about it and what your strategy would be. And when you have that epiphany yourself, then it's time to share it. But it's really important first to know where the other person is coming from. Because you may come in thinking, I've got the game plan, but then if there are some pieces that you don't know from the other person's side of the net, then your game plan may need to change. But you don't know that if you don't hear what they're saying to you. So, really important part of communication is listening to understand where the other person is standing or where they're coming from. All right. And when you're raging and annoyed, obviously they don't really want to share that with you. All right. So, I hope that's helpful. LP, you are up next. If there's anybody else in the room who would like a reading, all you have to do is say so, and we'll go from there. Okay. You're getting one question, LP, one specific question or a message from Spirit. What is your specific question, or do you want to know what Spirit wants to say to you? Okay, awesome. I will be very interested to hear the results of what happens if you start doing that in the next few days. And then the next time we catch each other on, I would be interested in hearing how that worked out for you. Okay. Sag, Sun, and Moon. My parents are both Sag. And a Leo rising. That's a lot of fire. Woohoo. Okay. Let's take a peek. LP, message from Spirit. What would you like to talk to LP about today? Now, a message from Spirit. I don't pick the topic, Spirit does, as is implied by the title. Also, I don't pick the time frame, so this can be past, can be present, or can be future. Mercury retro has been kicking everybody's booty that I know, honey bunny. Even the pre-shadow period. The pre-shadow period for most of my people has been, it kicked our butts like a normal Mercury retrograde normally kicks our butts. And then the retrograde actually, for me, it kind of slowed down a little bit, but it certainly didn't stop. Yes, pre-shadow was bad. I'm hoping that that means that the post-shadow is going to be, docile like a lamb. That's what I'm hoping that that means. I guess we'll see. Lucky for you. So my roommate upstairs doesn't really like check in with Mercury retrogrades, or she's not really aware of that stuff. She planned a trip out of state during that time. She took herself, her son, who was 6, getting ready to turn 7, her big Great Dane dog, and 5 baby chickens. And they had a flat tire on the way. It was supposed to be a 6 or 8 hour trip. Had a flat tire on the way. A very nice person helped her get that fixed. Turned around, came back, and on the way back, that same tire that was flat on the way there actually like blew out again. Luckily, nobody got hurt. And she was driving right by this ranch, and the owner of the ranch came out and took her tire and took it to Walmart to have it replaced, or somewhere to have it replaced. And so she did not have to figure out where she could find a hotel and spend the night with a dog, a kid, and 5 chickens, which was very lucky. But that's kind of typical for a Mercury retrograde type of trip. Like, you really don't want to plan a trip during Mercury retrograde because you're going to have to replan and readjust a lot. All right. I think I've shuffled enough. Let's get LP's message. It is really cool when humanity comes together. All right, LP. Right? I think that she got really lucky in that there were helpful people around, you know? It probably didn't hurt that she had a six-year-old in a zoo with her. People probably felt sorry for her, but still, like, what a terrible position to be in. Oh, no. Yeah, that's the kinda stuff that happens. Your ex's sister, though, usually it's just the ex. Alright, let's look at your situation, honey bunny. We have the 4 of Cups showing up in reverse, covered by the 9 of Swords. Okay, this is an interesting combination. That 4 of Cups in reverse says that you have something that disappointed you, but you're not letting that disappointment hold you back. Instead, you're looking at, well, if that option didn't work, then let me move forward with this option. The thing is, with this 9 of Swords, even though you're not letting that disappointment hold you back, there is a lot of stress as you're making this pivot to move forward. Excuse me. It is pretty much textbook. Maria. Hello, hello. Glad to see you here, my dear. Everybody, please remember thumbs up if I'm benefiting you. And also, please share this video out. The more people that get to have readings, the more fun I get to have, right? Layla, hello, hello. Chicky Lexi, hello. Hey, y'all stick around. I'm doing private readings for everybody here, just little micro ones. Okay, so everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback reading while I do this one for LP. I want to finish this one up. LP, you've got a page of pentacles showing up in reverse. Oof. And following that, we have a Queen of Cups. And following that, we have the Transformation card. The tarot always calls it the Death card. I don't know why we would name a card the Death card, but it is transformation. I hate it that it's called the Death card. Can you tell? All right, so best advice or a heads up. First of all, Page of Pentacles in reverse. I've never had this card come in like this, but this is advice in your case. This is telling somebody, you know what? I guess I'm not going to be doing this, contributing to this, paying this. Maybe this is cutting off the cable or whatever, but this is bad news about money or about material goods, but I feel like you're the one giving it to someone else. So you're telling somebody, "Look, I don't really need your service. Please cancel my subscription," or whatever that is, okay? So to make this pivot, we see you cutting off money to someone, giving them news about that you won't be paying them money. The Queen of Cups, this talks about following your intuition. Queen of Cups is normally very maternal. She likes to be encouraging. I'm trying to get this card where you can see it. She's very intuitive, though. Look, she's looking into her little scrying cup right there as she drinks her breakfast. Ooh, my coffee is telling me what I need to know. I'm only half joking because that can really happen, actually. But she could even be reading tea leaves. We don't exactly know if she's drinking or scrying there. Anyway, so you want to pay attention to your intuition because your intuition is giving you some good solid nudges. And you want to go ahead and make that change, make that transformation, follow that opportunity that's open to you in spite of the disappointment anyway. Death card talks all about making that change. And we are in Mercury retrograde. We're rethinking everything. Of course, we're making a change. This is advice to go ahead and do that. Follow those those intuitive nudges. Cut out what you need to cut out so you can make the change that you want to make. Funny, Aries got a message similar to this in my newsletter for this week, actually, which is another fire sign. You would be trined with all that fire in your chart. So that would make sense, actually. Guys, if you don't have my newsletter, you definitely want to sign up. You want to go to my website and sign up for it. I do predictions for every single person every day. And also, if you want to catch more lives like this, you want to subscribe to my channel. There's my website. And there's a tab where you can subscribe to my newsletter right there if you want to. Let's see. Really accurate. Okay. Yep. Trust your intuition. Thank you for that feedback too. Everybody remember, put a thumbs up if you're enjoying this video. Please share it out to the world. The more people that are here, the longer I stay. And a subscription to something financially draining. Good job. Good job. All right, so let's see. We've got some people in the room. We would like to have a reading. Right now, it looks like I've got 6 people in the room. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 12. I'm going to write it down and put a circle around it. Whoever puts that number in the chat first is going to be the next person that I read for. Oh, thank you, Chicky. I appreciate that. Oh, Jen, I didn't see you come in. Hello, hello. Let's see. 9 is not it. 8 is not it. Woohoo. Share the video, please, please, guys. 6 is not it. 11 is not it. 7. Maria. Maria, you just want it. Hello there, Unique. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. All right, Maria, do you have a specific question for me today, honey bunny, or do you want a message? Do you want a message from Spirit? Boo-ba-da-doo. You're quite welcome, quite welcome. Unique, I don't think I've seen you in the room before. Glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome. I don't think I've seen Chicky Lexi either, so welcome to you. Do, 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 do. Something happened today from somebody. Write a message so I can read that. There's a little heart thing that covers up that second line from the bottom in the chat for me. Oh, something happened today from Spirit, I think. All right. Okay. So, message from Spirit. Ooh, I want to hear what happened from Spirit after I get done reading this. Not before. I love hearing that stuff. Thanks for all the thumbs ups, guys. All right. So, Maria, message from Spirit. What do we have? All right. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Okay. A piggyback message is just when I'm reading for somebody else and you start to notice that that message resonates for you. Don't waste it. Pay attention to it, use it, make good use of it in your life. However, if you don't see it resonating, then it's not a piggyback message for you. Please don't stretch it out, scrunch it up, run over it, or throw it in the dryer to try to make it fit. Just let whoever needs to hear it, and wait and see if you're the next one. All right. Yeah, because this is supposed to be tarot and chat, and a lot of times they end up just being tarot. I also want to chat with you guys about what's going on spiritually in your lives. I do spiritual mentoring too, so let's see what we have here. So, Maria, we're starting off with temperance, finding balance. That looks like it has a glare on it, but really it's like light coming off of her crown chakra. So, finding balance, covered by the Three of Pentacles. Well, Three of Pentacles talks about collaborating with somebody. Okay. Can I get that closer to the camera and make it pick it up? No. All right. Well, it's just not great focus. Anyway, Three of Pentacles talks about collaborating with somebody. So this tells me that you've got a situation where you're trying to find balance in your collaboration with somebody else. You would like for it to be reciprocal and you would like for it to make sense. Okay. And this can be past, can be present, can be future. I'm going to talk about it as if it's present because it's on the table in front of me right now. So, boop-a-da-doop-doop. Best advice or heads up for you, Miss Maria. We have the Star card followed by the Hanged Man in reverse, followed by, no, he's not in reverse, excuse me. That's a right side up hanged man. The king of or knight of rods who is in reverse. Okay, so the star card tells me that there's hope, there's healing, okay? So your heads up or advice or insight is that there definitely can be balance that is found in this. And part of the way that you can find balance in this is with this hanged man. This hanged man says, I'm taking some time to look at this from all kinds of different angles and to see it from different perspectives so that I can find the balance that I'm looking for here. And so that's what it's going to take to find the balance is being able to look at this thing from all sides and all angles. Okay. And we have the Knight of Rods showing up here in reverse. I'm not sure if this is you or if this is somebody else, but I think that there is a situation where, as you're looking at this from different angles, there may be a person around you who's trying to say, okay, that's it. We've got the answer. Let's go. And you're not really done thinking and looking at it from different angles yet. Or it may be you having to sort of fight that tendency of, okay, I've got it, when you haven't really thought of all the angles yet. So there's something going on there with this idea of a distraction that keeps trying to pull you away from this hanged man really evaluating everything well position. And you just want to be aware that this is a distraction because until you're in this hanged man position, until you've evaluated everything and you feel confident about your decision, it's not time to act on it. Wait until you feel confident about your decision when you sit with it. Then it's time to move forward. That's what's going to bring the healing. And that's what's going to bring the balance in this collaboration that you have going on with somebody else. Okay. I hope that makes sense for you. And tell me about the spirit thing now. And while she's telling me about the spirit thing, that's going to help us with some time because I'm going to pick the next person to read for. We've got 5 people in the room now. I'm picking a number between 1 and 10. And let's see, whoever puts that number, I've got it down and circled in my chat first, is going to be the next person I read for. Okay, excellent. Thank you. 3 is not it. 5 is not it. Grande, grande, hello, hello. 10 is not it. 7 is not it. 1 is not it. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. 9 is not it. 6 is not it. Maria, I still want to be hearing your story. Don't forget. Boop-a-da-doo-doo-doo. 4 is not it. 3 is not it. Hello there. Welcome back, Unique. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. 2 is not it. 1 is not it. Thank you, Gran from G-Town. Everybody do please hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you to those of you who have already. 1 is not it. 7 is not it. 8, unique. Unique, got it. Woohoo, unique. Okay, unique. Tell me your first name, honey. Okay, I'm reading Maria. Spirit does that to me too. It wakes me up when I need to be woken up. Very cool. Your name is actually unique, literally, because I use names to connect when I'm doing your reading. So if that's actually literally your name, wow, what a unique name. How cool is that? All right, so I think you came in with a specific question. Do you want a specific question answered? If so, put that in the chat. If you want a message from Spirit and see what Spirit has to say for you, just put message from Spirit in the chat. We are having some lightning and some thunder right now, so hopefully I will keep my power and keep my internet. By the way, guys, don't forget to share this video out to other people. The more people that are here, the longer I stay. Right? Spirit's always on the job. I love that story. Spirit helps us with all that kind of stuff. Spirit even helped me catch a boyfriend when he was cheating. I would have never known if Spirit hadn't given me the tips. Everything you need to know about dealing with your person. What's your person's first name, honey bunny? You are quite welcome. Thank you for sharing your story. I love it. Jonathan. Okay, so we've got Unique and Jonathan. All right, so you've basically, in my mind, Unique, and my mind is a little different than everybody else's, just so you know. This is your first interaction with me, so I'm just going to give you the heads up. I'm a little different than other people. So, in my mind, when you say everything I need to know about dealing with my person, I'm reading that as two questions. That's everything you need to know about your person and best advice for how to deal with their silly selves. Which one do we want to go with? Everything you need to know about your person or best advice in dealing with Jonathan? Let's pick one. There will be implications. Whichever one you pick, there will be implications for the other answer as well. Best advice. Okay. What is Unique's best advice in dealing with Jonathan? Boop-a-da-doo. Geez, I feel like I need to like clarify all of these cards here that I just put down for you. So I'm gonna. All right. How do I want to do this? Okay. All right. Ooh. All right. That tells me that. Okay. This is really interesting. So we're going to start with your core cards first, and then we're going to look at clarifying. So, Two of Pentacles is my first card that came out. Two of Pentacles for me talks about letting something go, dropping something. Um, and it's interesting what card came up after that. That's my Ten of Wands. So this tells me what we're dropping, but there's also another message there with that Ten of Wands as well. Dropping some kind of responsibilities that are not feeding into uh, the relationship between yourself and Jonathan. Okay. So if you've got other people around that you're paying attention to, whether it's other romantic interests, whether it's your sister, whatever. There's something here about dropping some kind of responsibilities that are taking away from whatever is going on with you and Jonathan. Now, 10 of Wands, like I said, this has another meaning as well. 10 of Wands talks about picking up responsibilities, or for me, this can talk about becoming responsible or accountable to somebody else. In other words, getting in some kind of significant relationship with them, not necessarily moving in together, but maybe this is more on the level of, okay, I'm exclusively seeing you type of thing. But this is being accountable, like, being responsible, taking on these responsibilities, okay? And when I clarified this, because I thought that was really interesting to have these 2 juxtapositioned against each other with where we're dropping responsibilities and we're picking up responsibilities. So I came up with dropping responsibilities that don't have to do with adding to this relationship that you have with Jonathan, picking up, being more accountable actually to Jonathan. Now, why do I say this should be being more accountable to Jonathan? Well, here's why. Here's the clarification. Lovers coming up in reverse, judgment coming up right side up, and the Ace of Cups. It could not be more clear to me here that you and Jonathan are not freaking together. Okay. That's probably why you're asking me questions because you're feeling all anxious. Females, when we are not with somebody, and especially when it's fresh, we're just like, did I do the right thing or not? Okay. After the lovers in reverse, we have the judgment card, which says give something a second chance. Well, what are we giving a second chance? Ace of Cups, this is new love or renewed love. Okay. So for me, this picking up responsibilities now is very clear to me. Get back into a relationship with this person is your advice on interacting with them. Go ahead and get back into this relationship with them. Drop stuff that would detract from that relationship, whether it's other people you've been dating or, talking with your sister who hates him or whatever. Page of Swords in reverse. This is digging for information, okay? Digging for information. Well, I wanted to clarify that too. What kind of information are you digging for? Like, are you getting back with this guy just to find out why you left him in the first place? I hope not. So let's see what shows up. When we look at digging for information, we've got the Five of Wands here. For me, I have a bunch of different interpretations for this card, but right now what's hitting me is this is kind of like brainstorming. It's being creative, throwing out creative ideas together about how you can find happiness as a couple. And this just kind of confirms it. My 7 of Cups. There's lots of possibilities. There are lots of options for you guys to be able to do things that help you find happiness together as a couple. So now that's clarifying my digging for information. Well, what does that mean? That means talk to Jonathan, have a back and forth conversation. This is what I would like from this relationship. This is how I would like us to spend our spare time. These are the things I would like to do. These are the things that make me happy. And also have him tell you, how does he want to spend his spare time? What makes him happy? What does he want out of this relationship? Two-way conversation about this so that you guys can get on the same page this time. Make sense for you? I got a little fired up on that one. All right. How many people in the room still want a reading? Put a wave in the chat or something like that so I know how many that actually still want a reading. Because I know I've read for a bunch of y'all that are still here. Layla still wants a reading. Anybody else? Put in a wave. Jennifer. Okay, so we've got 2. Anybody else? Okay, awesome. Glad to hear it, Unique. Thank you for trusting me today. Aw, thank you. I mostly go live, at least for right now. I've actually been on YouTube. I started another channel that got shadow banned. I started it in 2013. And I used to do predictions like weekly and monthly just in regular videos, but lately I'm finding myself going live a lot here. So make sure you hit the bell so you know whenever I come on. Okay, Gran still wants one. You're quite welcome. So you guys, if you want a private reading with me, I will knock your socks off. This is just 5 cards. You can see how to do that on my website. However, I will tell you I'm not cheap. I've been pulling cards for the public since 2012. Most of you know that because most of you have been hanging out with me since like 2013 or so. But anyway, 30 minutes is $100, 45 is 150, and 60 minutes is 200. I know I see a lot of familiar names from the old channel. I'm very happy about that. But there's a lot of people who have not come back over or come over, so I don't know. It's a bummer. Last time I checked, there's still 7.5K over on the old channel, and I still upload there sometimes, but not tarot stuff. I try to be. All right, so we have, let's see, how many people waved at me? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 3 people still waiting. So I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 6, and I'm writing it down and circling it right now. Number between 1 and 6. After this, I'm going to go do laundry. So everybody be on the lookout for a piggyback message. Make sure. And also, if you haven't already, please put a thumbs up on this video to support me in this channel. I appreciate it. 5 is not it. 2 is not it. 5 is still not it. 6 is not it. Boop-a-da-doo. It's not 2, 5, or 6. Number between 1 and 6. 3 is not it. Ooh, Gracie. Gracie got it with that 4. Okay, Gracie. Do you have a question for me today, or do you want a message from Spirit? Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Message for Gracie. What would you like to talk to Ms. Gracie about today? Boop-ba-da-doo-doo. Boop-ba-da-doo. Okay, my dear. What do we have showing up here? Hmm. All right. So, first of all, Ms. Gracie, we have the Hermit card, which tells me that you're spending some time by yourself, which allows you to figure out what your priorities are, what you want to do next, where do you want to go from here, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you trigger, and maybe you're even deactivating a trigger. Maybe. All right. Not always mandatory with the Hermit card, but all the other stuff is. Now, that's covered by the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles, what I'm feeling like is you may be feeling like you're a little bit isolated from some of your people that you would like to be talking to. Interesting. So that kind of tells me that this hermit is not necessarily by choice, that you are feeling a little isolated. Okay. Now let's look at your best advice or heads up. This is just so interesting. I just don't even know exactly what to make of it. We start off with the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords talks about some kind of argument or debate. Oh, okay. Now this is making sense. So, some kind of argument or debate may be why There might be somebody that, you're not talking to all that much because of an argument or a debate. Thank you for that encouragement. And then we've got my 2 of rods in reverse. 2 of rods in reverse tells me that you're looking at, what is the impression that I gave this person? Did I give them the impression I wanted to? Did I say the things I wanted to say? Was I being authentic? I think you're kind of second guessing, should I have done something differently? All right. Now, best insider heads up, last card. 7 of rods. 7 of rods says hold your own. Hold your ground. You've set up your boundaries, you've set up your standards. Hold your ground. Don't be second guessing yourself, basically. You've already set your standards. Now it's time to keep them. All right. Don't let somebody else having a fit because they might have to do what's fair put you in a position where you are treating yourself as less than just to keep communications open with them. Let them have their fit. They need you and they know it. You hold your ground. You keep your standards up. Hope that makes sense for you, my dear. Did anybody here get a piggyback off of anybody else's message today? Just out of curiosity. You did not? Anybody did? Anybody that did? Usually I have piggybacks in my room. Thank you, thank you. There may be a bunch of people have come and gone that may not answer that, but I always like to look for piggybacks. Yeah, that's not normal for you either. You must have been busy. What were you up to when I first came on? Because you're normally the first one in the door. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. There is so much delay on this line. Oh my gosh. Some version of cooking. All right, guys. Well, it's time for me to get out of here. I've got laundry that has to be moved from the washer to the dryer and other chores to do. Everybody have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys back next time around. Tomorrow, I'm going to be working at the store doing readings. That won't be tomorrow, but I would imagine I'll probably try to be here Wednesday sometime. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace.